Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Today I want to come on here really quickly and do an updated wear and tear on Chanel lambskin when it comes to a small leather good. This is the small oak case in the red lambskin leather with the silver hardware, and I've had it for close to 2 years now. I believe it'll be 2 years in May, so that way it gives me a better chance to discuss color transfer, durability, scratches, and all the other good things that I feel are imperative when it comes to a wear and tear video. And I've gotten a lot of questions throughout the years when it comes to venturing into a new fashion house or trying out a different leather from a fashion house. And I've always recommended going for a small leather good. And the reason I say that is because when it comes to small leather goods, I feel that you can really get a feel for the brand. You can get a feel for the type of leather that you're going for, the type of material that you're looking to add to your collection, whether it's a handbag or a larger piece in the small leather good. But more importantly, I feel that you end up interacting with a small leather good a lot more than you do a handbag. So that way you can really tell the wear and tear. Now when it came to this item, I was very apprehensive when it came to lambskin leather, and I'll get into that in just a second. I was apprehensive because I had a completely different idea when it came to this type of leather from Chanel, and I decided to go for it, and it's one of the best decisions that I ever made because it really opened up my eyes to trying out a different type of leather, because I used to be mostly a caviar Chanel type of person. So that's why I wanted to come on here and discuss the durability of this item. So I hope that you find this video helpful. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Scratches and lambskin. As I said in the beginning, I was very apprehensive to add any type of lambskin to my collection because I felt that the leather was going to be like a scratch magnet. I felt that the scratches were going to be very prominent, and I also felt that the item was going to look very old and very worn after maybe a month and a half, and that was not the case. As I said before, I've had it close to almost 2 years, and for as long as I've had it and for as much as I've used it, oftentimes using it for weeks on end or months on end because I don't want to switch out of it. And it's also red, so it's one of my favorite colors. But it does not show any type of scratches, which makes me very, very happy. And the greatest thing about lambskin leather is that if you do end up getting a scratch on there, the only thing you need to do is buff it out with your fingers because the oils on your fingertips do all the work for you. I know some people end up using a solution to get rid of the scratches that they end up seeing, and that ends up working out for them. But for me, I've had great success with my fingertips, the oil that they have, and then I'm good to go. So I have no scratches on here whatsoever. And I'll be honest with you, I have put this thing through the ringer. I promised myself when I purchased it that I was going to enjoy it. I was not going to put it in this bubble. I was going to, if it ended up getting scratches, if it ended up getting color transfer or anything else, I just figured that way I can really see how it ends up wearing. So I have enjoyed it to death, to say the least, but no scratches whatsoever. So there's the front side, there's the back side, so you guys can see. No deep scratches or anything like that. And I have had those light scratches here and there in the time that I've had it. I'm going to be honest with you, but I just literally sit there and I buff it out like this for a little bit and it ends up going away. So there are no marks on here. And I also thought that I ended up getting scratches on the bottom from this little pull tab here or on the side by the zipper. And so far, so good. So scratches and durability when it comes to the lambskin leather, as I said, a lot more durable than I had ever anticipated. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is color transfer, and I've gotten a lot of questions when it comes to color transfer, not only because it's lambskin, but also because it's red. And as most of you know, when it comes to handbags, I'm not very adventurous with their colors. I tend to stick to neutrals, or I tend to stick to black handbags. But I very much so live on the wild side when it comes to small leather goods. And I have used this small leather good inside of the majority of my Chanel handbags, or the ones that it fits in anyways. I've also used it inside of my Givenchy Antigona with the black textile lining, and I've also used it in the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis with the brown microfiber lining. And that's the one, like I said before, that I've gotten a lot of questions on because of the brown microfiber lining that it has. People were curious as to the color transfer that this might end up getting from that or from the Givenchy. And so far, no problems either. And when it comes to color transfer, I really thought that I'd end up having it on the corners, because that's really where you end up seeing the color transfer the most when it comes to these items. But as you can see, no problems, no color transfer whatsoever. And I thought that at first, you know, I'd end up having like a sheen on here on the back side from it being a little too dark or rubbing up against the microfiber from the Pochette Matisse, but no color transfer either. So that makes me very, very happy, and no color transfer from any of the other small leather goods that I'm carrying inside of my handbag either. So, you know, and I really, you know, I was thinking, oh man, if I end up getting color transfer, it's going to be such a bummer because I love this red. It's like one of the perfect reds. And you guys know how I feel about red, but nope, no problems whatsoever, no color transfer. And let me show you the corners very quickly so you guys can see. No color transfer, and the sheen that you're seeing is from the lighting that I have in my room. There you go. There we go. So no color transfer. Now as far as stains go on the lambskin leather, I've had no issues either. And for the most part, I've been pretty lucky when it comes to it, you know, on the seldom chance that it does rain here. It's always covered up very nicely inside of any of my handbags. So I haven't had any water transfer on this either. So I know that usually water is not a very good companion when it comes to lambskin leather because you end up getting that stain, but no issues there either. And as far as stains on the interior, because it does have this type of material, now you have to know that if you've been watching my channel for a while, a lot of you know that I am a lipstick or a lip product junkie, whether it's a lipstick, lip balm, lip gloss, you name it, I'm obsessed with it. And since I end up using this the most as a cosmetics case, I really thought that I'd end up having some type of residue, because I'm very clumsy when it comes to putting my items back inside of this item. Since I end up using the most as a cosmetics case, I really thought that I'd end up having some type of residue of lipstick or a lip gloss or even a powder when I used to carry it. And I can happily tell you there are no stains in here whatsoever either. So I have been very fortunate in that. You know, nothing's opened up. And when I mean I'm clumsy, I am very clumsy. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, like if I'm in a hurry, I just kind of throw it in there and I don't really think twice about it. As I said, I'm not going to baby it, but no issues with this as well. So I really like this type of material. It's that type of washable material, not washable material, but that wipeable material that you're able to take off any residue if you see it. So I'm going to try to open it up as much as I can so you guys can really see any type of stains. And like I said, there's nothing on there. I also wanted to discuss wrinkles because with any item that you use quite a bit, you'll end up seeing those type of wrinkles, especially because of the lambskin leather being so soft. But I do have some wrinkles on the very top, and that's usually from sometimes I tend to overstuff this item. It's my own fault. But I do have a little bit of wrinkles going on, but that is normal for wear and tear. You'll end up seeing it a little bit. Of course, if you don't end up overstuffing it the way I do, then you should be good to go. But I just thought I'd point that out. But you have a little bit of wrinkles up there, not too much. With a wallet, you'd be able to see those wrinkles a lot more because, of course, you end up opening it up to be able to retrieve your cards or your cash or whatever it is. And the lambskin leather has also gotten incredibly soft. Or it's gotten a lot softer, I should say, because in the beginning it was very soft, but now it's like this buttery type of softness that when you feel it, it just feels like it's going to melt in your hand. And I know that might be so extreme of me to say, that might be so ridiculous, but I am telling you, when you touch this, it's almost like, I don't know, it almost feels like I'm touching cashmere or something like that because it's very nice to the touch, you know what I mean? So the softness of the lambskin has really come through quite a bit. Now, as far as scratches on the hardware, I do have some very faint scratches, nothing too deep. So I guess you can call them hairline scratches right here, which is very normal. And to be honest, I thought that I'd end up having a little bit more scratches on the pull tab, but this one actually looks a lot better than that double CC logo does. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of difficulty trying to show you guys. So there you go. And as far as pilling goes, I do have some pilling right by the zipper, the material there, which is also normal for as much as I've used it. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see if the camera's going to be able to capture it, but I have it, it's a little bit right here and on the sides as well. So there we go. I also wanted to show you guys that since this O case has these leather gussets, now these tend to get a little bit, they're a little bit more loose than you would have noticed at the beginning when I first had this item. And sometimes the zipper gets caught on there. I thought that you'd be able to notice kind of like the zipper marks on there, but I haven't had any problems with that. But you will be able to see the zipper residue that kind of tends to rub up against the lambskin leather. Let me bring it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. It's a little bit harder since it's on the corner, but there we go. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that right over here. And then this one also has it. This one's a little bit more noticeable on this side. Do you guys see that? That little this is a lot harder to be able to showcase than I had thought, but you can see it right there. So it does have that zipper residue just from it rubbing up against the lambskin leather, so you can see that a little bit more. But as far as any type of loss of stitching or anything like that, no issues. I haven't had any stitches come undone or tend to kind of get flattened out or anything like that. Of course, the ones in the middle are going to look a little bit more prominent than the ones on the corners here. And that's also normal. Now, as far as what I end up doing to kind of maintain its shape, because it hasn't really lost its shape for it being the type of item that it is, but it also has some pretty good structure to it. But anytime after I stop using it and I go to set it on my shelf, I always end up putting a air paper, one of these little inserts inside, so that way it really ends up holding its shape. So just want to show you guys very quickly. I just put this in here and I put it in its little dust bag, and it really ends up helping out so that it doesn't kind of flatten out and it doesn't tend to lose its shape at all. So there you go. You can see it looks the way that it does when it is stuffed with any type of lip product or anything else that I might end up carrying in here. So altogether, I am very, very happy with the way that this item has worn for as long as I've had it and for as much as I've used it. As I said before, I've put it through the ringer, and it really opened up my appreciation for lambskin leather because you know, I had a completely different idea of how it would end up wearing. And as I said in the beginning, I always recommend going for a small leather good if you're going into a different fashion house or if you're going for a different type of material than what you're used to, because I feel that way you can really see how it ends up working out for you and your lifestyle. You know, before you decide to spend $5,000–6,000 on a handbag that maybe you won't be so crazy about the material. So for me, it would make it a lot better to go for something smaller, something that's not as expensive as that handbag, and that way I can really, again, get a feel for it. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Throughout the year, I'll be doing a lot more wear and tear videos because some of the items that I have in my collection I've had for quite some time, and I will always try to show you every possible angle, and I will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I'm not here to, you know, there's some things that I've had that haven't worn the best, and I will be always completely transparent with you. I will be completely honest because I want to give you guys as much information as possible, and that way I can give you as much of a visual on what are some of the things that you can expect. And of course, it all depends on how you end up using your items. If you tend to care for them a little bit more than maybe I would, or vice versa. It all depends. But I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And if there is an item that you guys know that I have in my collection that you would like to see an in-depth wear and tear video on, something of course that I've had for a while, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be more than happy to do that. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.